We got cut off. So, um, I was talking about how I was with somebody and I compromised my morals because I felt like it was best. Because I actually, in that moment, I just didn't want to be alone because he was cute and he wasn't, like I said, he wasn't just the type of person that I felt like would just be going around and doing stuff like that. And he was a very smart kid. And I do mean, like, he was fairly, like, I think he was like a year and a half or so younger than me, which in a Mexican family, that means something, apparently. And so, he had a curfew, and that was a big deal. I hate living my life with restrictions, especially if it's because of my significant other. There's always been some type of restriction with my significant others, and it's so irritating. And it's something that I've had to work with. However, now I know that it's just not gonna work like that. Um, so this person came back into my life, and he technically did do me dirty in a way, but he was not a bad person. He was not a bad kid. I don't really think bad about anybody that I've ever been with. I don't think that I can actually think that way, but I see them for who they are. But I think I've always seen them for who they are, so it's kind of an issue. And I already knew that this person was going to lose interest in some way. I might have created that in my own way, but I did my best. But I didn't shine as bright as I do now. So, you can only shine for the person that you're supposed to shine with. And I definitely know that now. I didn't know that I could shine like this, or maybe it would have been different. I've just always been a good woman. So, um, it's always just been kind of like difficult for me to understand why people didn't always want to be with me when we were already together. Like, what are you even upset about? Because we really could just be having fun and you're just tripping over something right now and you won't even be honest about it. So, yeah. Um so this person came back into my life and he said that he was about to get into a relationship with someone, but he wasn't sure. And I was just like, well, you might as well go out with a bang. Look at me being an antagonist. So yeah, I ended up being with that boy for I invited him over and I was wearing a cute little orange bandeau and some sweatpants, and it was cute. And it was the first time he'd ever seen me dressed like that either. I didn't look like this. I was more well. When I went out with him, I did not look like this. So when he came back in, I didn't look like this either. I was in my hair evolution though, and I had my own little look happening. Like I was definitely myself, more myself than I had ever been when this person came in. Because like I said, practicing self-love, I really started to open up more and be more comfortable with my body. Because you would never catch me wearing a lot of things that I wear in the past. So you could. I taught him how to smoke weed. I also didn't know that he wasn't holding the carb the whole time. And so I'm just chilling, having a great time. We're talking outside. I don't remember what we were talking about, but like, it wasn't like, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't know what I even talk about. Like, it happens and then and it's like, it's fun if it's fun. And if not, I don't really know. But like, if I didn't have an interesting time talking to him, I wouldn't have did anything with him. So I really don't remember at that time. Well, I was looking like a whole snack, and he always liked having sexual relationships with me. So, I didn't doubt that I was gonna have a good time, because I feel like that's what sex was for me. Like it wasn't like, oh, this is great, this is wonderful, like this is sky mind blowing. Um, I've only had that with one person, and I just don't. I think it's funny that in hindsight, I truly didn't think that it could be like that. I was just like, this is what everybody's like. I actively was just like, I can go without it, but like there were times where I couldn't, and that was different. Like, once you break that barrier. But I really do think that was codependency, because it really wasn't out of like, oh, I want to do it with this person all the time and stuff like that. Like with this person, that's a different story. But like with those people, they really, I wouldn't say that they only wanted me for sex. It's just like they didn't it's hard to keep a male interested if he's not your person. Period. Like it just, and now I know why, because there's so many ins and outs of it that we don't see. You know, as feminine energies primarily, we do not see those things, and so I've been able to understand them through being with this person that I am with right now. So that has helped me be a better me. And then there was another person that I was friends with benefits with that came back into my life. And honestly, this person, if I didn't feel like he was being needy towards me in a way where I could tell that I was just being the replacement for the person that he wanted in his life, he only ever hit me up when it was time, like when he was single. Only ever hit me up when he was single, but he said we were friends. And then that was really confusing to me, because I really am friends with people that I'm friends with, and they know that. But when it comes to like being with a woman and then, you know, like being friends with me, then I take a back seat, and that's irritating to me, because that's not what I think of when I think of friends. Because for me, when I'm with someone and I say I'm friends with someone else, I'm friends with someone else. I'm very open about it. Those people come around, I bring them around, I let people know what's going on in my life. I'm very open about it, because I wouldn't want them to lie to me about it, but at the same time, because it just makes sense to tell them. You know, I don't want them to think that I'm doing something with someone else if I'm not. And so that person was, you know, very loyal to his significant other. And again, that is it's more of a Mexican thing. Like guys don't like being around. I guess that's a cultural thing with everybody, but not really. It is mainly like Mexicans. You can't look at another female unless they are far from looking like a snack while you're with someone else. So, and I just don't like that. I think that's ingenuine in my eyes. I believe that we should always treat our friends the way we treat our friends. And even if we are we were never at more than friends. Even if I wanted to be more than friends at some point, we were never more than friends. And I'm always the type to just keep it where it's at if that's where it's supposed to be at. And, you know, that's just how things go. So that person, he came back into my life, and you could tell he was just kind of depressed about a certain situation. I think everything in his life had been coming down to, like, we were in the next cycle where everything was transitioning and it was a big deal, and I didn't know that, but I felt that energy, and I was just like, they keep popping up. And this was when I started really noticing that the cycles were happening. Like, it was when I really started noticing. And so with this person, I don't remember. That's messed up. No, I did sleep with him once after meeting up with him again, and we caught up like old friends. It was nice. It was chill, but it was very different. You could tell that I wasn't like buying it. You could tell that I wasn't as invested in being with him as I was before, and it wasn't even a change in the way that I spoke. It was basically in the energy. Straight up, I was just like, I know what I came here for. Like, I know what I wanted. And so it's basically like those people came back into my life for me to take my power back in some way. But at the same time, you got to take it and go. You know, you don't take it and stay. You know, you don't take it and be like, okay, I'm going to just keep messing around with this person or with other people if there's no reason why you did that, you know? If I don't need to do something, there's no reason for me to do it, so I don't. I'd rather sleep with myself, and I do. So, or my significant other, but they're not interchangeable. I hope you could hear everything I just said. They're not interchangeable. I love touching on myself, and I think that people should be more open about that too. What else? Oh yeah, and then this Moses kid, he every time we just think about this person, it's a thing. We just think about this person and we're like, he's just an idiot. He just is. But he was more of an enigma. Like the last person that I was talking about, he was more of an enigma, and I'm glad I treated him with kindness, because in the end he got jealous that I ended up being with Georgie. And I didn't tell him. He just found out. Everybody found out. Everybody found out. And that was the one time we kept it on wraps. Everything we didn't say nothing to nobody, but the energy was too strong that people really knew what was going on. And so I feel so bad. I feel bad because he wasn't like a I don't like calling things like one night stands, because that's really not that's not. But at the same time, I have definitely been with somebody in the past and then I ghosted them because I didn't want to be a part of their lives anymore. And I ghosted them immediately. I'm the ghoster. So, yeah, no, yeah, I think, shoot, how? This person is not a one story. Yeah, this person that I'm talking about, he is a false flame. He would have definitely been a false flame if I had actually said I wanted to be with him and went through with it. But Spirit was kind of just telling me, like, that you would not want to do this long term because of these reasons, so pay attention to that. So it was the first time that I felt happy that I wasn't in a relationship with someone, but I cannot say that I did not think about it a lot, because he was giving me the attention that I wanted. I was giving him the attention that he wanted, and it wasn't just like a sexual, it wasn't sexual at all. We did none of that. We were literally friends. But empath to empath, when we connect, it's a big deal. And especially as a false flame, and it was codependency. And that was when I started drinking a lot more. Never been an alcoholic, but definitely drinking's not a thing for me, simply because it's just not for me. But it's not like I won't drink, but it's definitely that period of time during the dark night of the soul specifically. That was a terrible time. It was a terrible time. And a lot of other stuff happened in between that as well. But that also will have to go in a different video. I'm really trying not to make this long. I was really planning on trying to make this like, see, that's the thing, trying to make something, anything. I'm glad Spirit gave me a guide of some sort, because this is going well. It's actually going very well. I watched the video back and I'm just like, as much as I thought that it didn't make sense, it did. And honestly, I did not think it made sense, because I know what I'm talking about. It's just, I'm also very aware that something just flew at me and I don't know what it is. Like it tried to attack me. Oh, it was a leaf. Okay. It looked I'm just very aware of everybody's understanding not always picking up where I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know what it is. I used to think that everything that I said was always received. Like I would think that everybody heard what I was saying, always, taking it into spirit, like whatever it is that I'm saying, they understand that I'm saying it. But because of this journey in general, I realized the difference in vibrations. I realized how people switched up, which is a part of this story. But I realized it early on, so it helped me to deal with everybody's changes. But I did not realize until those points that, yeah. Okay, yeah, no, I can't tell you that, no, because I would have to tell you the whole daggone story. This is difficult. It's only difficult because there's so many facets to this. There's so many facets to it, and I think a lot of it is going to have to wait, because there's a lot of details that need to be said. Even, if I want to talk about a cat turd, which I did have to pick up my cat's turd a lot in my backyard. That has nothing to do with the story, but I just wanted to tell you because I said cat turd. So she also pooped in the neighbor's yard. It was an Asian lady and she had flowers. And then they put up like a sidewalk in their backyard. Like they made it just so that she wouldn't poop in it. Control your pets as best as you can. But if someone is really trying to do their best, don't give them a hard time. So, balance. It takes two. Let's see. What should I end this with? Because it should make more sense. Because I'm gonna have to finish this tomorrow or later. I don't know. I'm gonna have to cross out what I even talked about because a lot of the important details, probably like a bigger concept. I think we'll talk about that in a different video. I guess basically that's just the beginning, like my background of how this happened, and I can't really even say that that's it, but that's the gist of it for the most part. And then I met Georgie and my false flame, yeah, at the same time, and I would have never even known. And then after I said no to the false flame, and we started to grow apart in a big way. Oh, that's what I was talking about. Communication. I didn't know that people, if your vibrations aren't equal, they really can't perceive what it is you're trying to say. It's like trying to read the Bible when you're not not of the Bible, of the spirit of the Bible, of the spirit of knowing. So, because a lot of us are characters of the Bible, and you may or may not be a twin flame as well. And yeah, I've met the actual Moses in real life. He does not know he's Moses. I've expressed to someone else that I believe that it is him because I just picked up the spirit. I've met John the Baptist. So when I say Moses, I don't mean that Moses. So, but I have met him, so I felt like I needed to point that out. It's a really interesting world. And I've also met Lucifer. How interesting, right? He's pretty cool. It's such an interesting concept. But yeah, I didn't realize that people really couldn't understand what I was saying, which is why I also understood when people could understand what I was saying. That contrast in understanding, I really knew. Like I knew, but I didn't know that was gonna happen. Like I realized when it started happening, but I did not know that it would happen like that. Like I didn't know that was a huge thing. And so I have always known when someone understands what I'm saying, but I didn't know that I shouldn't have really even wasted my breath to. But I guess that's part of the path. You know, you never know what could help somebody out and what could not. So when I speak into the videos, I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes, because I know Spirit's just gonna have me talk. Whenever the Spirit comes out, we're just talking, and like we get done, and I'm like, I'm always channeling something, always, and like that's how I live my life, and it's such an interesting. It's just so interesting. I don't even know how to explain that. I do know how to explain it, but like not right now. And so yeah, I met my false flame and my twin flame at the same time, but I didn't recognize my twin flame like that at all whatsoever. And it was actually the first time that I had it was the first time that I had ever been in a friendship with someone and not had any type of crush on them, because I think that's always been a thing it's always been a thing for me. I've always been attracted to whatever friend I've been friends with. It does not matter, in some type of way, shape, or form, for X amount of time or whatever. And I don't always tell anybody anything, but sometimes I do tell people something, and it depends. It really depends on like if it'll help a situation or if it'll just be like, why did you tell me that? But like I feel like some people should know, especially because I don't feel that way anymore. Actually, let's just say Georgie knows exactly. Georgie knows exactly who, if we could have a threesome, who it would be. However, that's not in the cards anymore, especially because I'm very. That's also a story for another time, but that's really like it doesn't help anybody out, and it really isn't. It's not about being with someone and having that third person and their type of thing. Like, it's actually a scam. if we were to do something like that. So I'll have to break the news to him. But he already knew that. It was just a conversation. I was like, if it were to happen, would you be okay with that? He was like, imagine your girlfriend just being like, so like, what if? And what if, But yeah, that person doesn't know though, and that's a good thing because they don't think we're close, but I guess a lot of people don't really think that we're close, but I always think about them, so that's different. I really want to go into the story about how I met Georgie, but I don't think it's a good idea to do so. So we're going to cut it off because it's a good time to cut it off. And hopefully the next time that I have something to say, because I have a lot on here, hopefully the next time I have something to say, it won't be so long because I can do like 3 videos at one time, but they're different in length, and then I have to like upload, and then I gotta delete, and then my phone battery decided that it's a lot of work right now, and that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. It's funny because I talk a lot with my hands, but you can't even really see my hands in the camera. Like my hands are off to the side doing whatever whatever they want. So yeah, if you took anything from this video, I hope it is just that I'm gonna talk a lot, and there are gonna be people to listen, and I hope that it reaches you, and I hope that it helps you. This is the first time we're actually going to talk about the journey, so this is a really big deal for me. Like, this is a lot of pressure because I wrote everything down, but those journals disappeared. So, like, I'm having to really start over right now, or you would have half a storybook already. But all 5 of my journals, gone. So, yeah. And a lot of artwork. Alright. And some videos, too. Alright, yeah. Okay, I gotta go. Bye.